You're still watching the continent's #1 magazine show. And remember the earlier trivia question I asked you? I simply wanted to know how many AFCON tournaments has Didier Drogba won? Well, the answer is none. He was just part of the team that came the runners-up in 2006 and 2012. Could you believe that? Well, speaking of unbelievable things, you wouldn't believe the guest I have with me in the studio. Afrobeat for me is the soundtrack of our lives here on the continent. And this new artist I'm about to introduce to you definitely has been the face and the heartbeat of that genre on the continent is Mr. Stonebwoy. Stonebwoy,
yes,
how are you?
Brother, I'm doing great.
Oh,
I'm doing
man.
very great. I mean, I know you wanted to say Afro-Dancehall. That's what I pioneer, and that's what I'm standing in the forefront of the most. You know, that's also definitely a combination of Afrobeats, dancehall, and reggae music. Yes. I put all that in one pot.
Yes, I know. I was about to elaborate more on it. Don't worry. You know,
Absolutely,
I was listening to the torture on the way here.
Wow.
And what a banger that is. I just want to ask you about one of your ad-libs there. Right?
Which
you have
one?
several ad-libs. There's one that sounds like, you know, that you were saying in the background. How do you come up with those?
It's the vibes and the energy, you know, like as a recording artist, technically when you're in the studio and you're recording, there are some steps to obey. You know, you have to do ad-libs. If you you have to do ad-libs. Sometimes you have to do harmonies. Sometimes you just want to leave it the way they. But in that particular song, there was a need for me to do them little, ad-libs.
It's lovely, man. Well, we're going to get to the conversation about your career and all the hot music you have coming out. But now let's talk about football, because we hear that you're not only a legendary recording artist, you're also quite vast with your football knowledge, especially when it comes to Ghana.
Exactly, I try.
Yeah, the Black Stars of Ghana look like they'll be making it to the World Cup. Never mind the fact that in the African Nations Cup, they are missing out for the first time in 20 years.
Very
First
sad.
of all, how do you feel about that? Or do you not care?
No, I care, because the thing is, football brings us so much joy. So much joy. The same or even more as music will do. You know, and entertainment, as a whole. So it's important to also keep winning, because, you know, it brings a lot of happiness and joy to some people. Some people just want to know that, we're going to the next AFCON, and everything that comes around the AFCON alone is joy, is beauty for the continent of Africa. So missing out the first time in 20 years is a sad thing to know. For me, it's a disaster, because other African countries will miss Ghana's performance at the AFCON. You know, because the last AFCON I was there in Ivory Coast, you know, I enjoyed it through and through. So that means that I'm not going to be able to go now. You see what I'm saying? Like, so it's sad, not just for me, but for, I know, a lot of people and the nation as well. Yes. But I think that's the results, and nobody is pushing us out against our will. It's the scores and the score sheet that, you know, it's the goals and the score sheet that determined it. So
all right, let's talk about what is happening in Ghana's group in the World Cup qualifiers. We saw that they recently destroyed Central Republic 5-0.
Yeah.
Did you expect that? What did you enjoy the most about that victory?
It's important, you know, when you're winning, you win big. You know, when you win small, it's acceptable, but when you can win big, and that's what the Black Stars, you know, brought to that game. I was happy to see all of my good friends perform. Kudus, one of my brothers, you know, definitely plays at Tottenham, was in West Ham. I mean, his Tottenham signing, I did the song tune for his signing, and it was all played in the stadium and all of that. So that's how close I am with some of these brothers. And I see, my happiness is the young energy that we have now in the team. So people are trying to compare this young energy with the 2006 energy that we had from the group of Stephen Appiah, Samoa Jan, you know, and that squad, you know. So it tells you that there is some quality in this team that is going to take us very far, because in the minds of every Ghanaian, we would have wished that the Samoa Jan squad or the Stephen Appiah squad never grew out of,
Yes.
you know, out of time. But of course, so now that we have this set that is reminding us of the performance and the energy of them, that tells you that, I mean, I'm happy we have qualified for the World Cup and we're going to prove a lot, you know, at that stage.
So now there's criticism on the Ayu brothers. Some people are saying that Ghana should have moved on from Jordan Ayew, for example, and just focus on the next generation of stars. How do you feel about that?
You see, I feel like it can get to a point where it's almost not fair, you know, because the thing is, there are different groups of people who understand what is going on from a different view as well. The commoner who's just watching the football match and just wants a win. The one that goes and when it's a bad day, he curses the whole team. When it's a good day, he praises the whole team that he was, you know, he doesn't care. So, but there's a group of us that actually know a little bit, whereby we understand that, no, it is not compulsory that when they're out of the team completely, I mean, you can't just decide like that. You know, these are professionals and these are able players, and then there's the technical team, the coaching team, they also know what they're doing. So for me, personally, I think it was just about the fact that we were not winning as much, because if we were winning, nobody would even complain, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, as people always try to be the coach and try to, so I think that is the reality right now is that Jordan is performing amazing. Look at what he did the other time, just the last match. And in his team, he's performing amazing as well. And of course, Dede Ayew came into the Black Stars very young. Once upon a time, I remember he was the youngest in the Black Star team. And he gave his all. You know, imagine playing among seniors and you are the little one, but you have to contribute that your quota to them. That means that you may be a child or you may be small, but you're actually operating at the level of elders. You know what I'm saying? So he has contributed that to the point that he is now. So for me, it is what it is. We focus on the present and are happy that we move forward to win. And it has never been about the Ayew brothers being the problem of Black Stars whatsoever. Yes. I never seen it like that anyway. Yes. So I think a lot of people also can relate to how it's never been like that. It's a game, a day, we win, we move. If there are mistakes, we make sure that we all are able to speak to it and, you know, corrections are made. Yes. And then we move. But nonetheless, in African football teams, we all know that there's a lot of problem within the team, the management, or maybe there's a lot of problems in there that not everybody gets to hear of, that affects the performances of the players.
Oh, that's interesting, your take about Jordan Ayew.
Yeah,
but now let's talk about your music. Let's talk about this beautiful gift you're giving to the world. Now, the Torture EP is out.
Yeah.
First of all, what inspired that EP? Why haven't you given us another beautiful album? And the second thing I wanted to ask is, your first album was in 2012, right?
Yeah.
Like your transition, how have you seen Stonebwoy evolve as an artist and as a man?
Yeah, man, thanks for that. From 2012 up till today, where I've dropped the Torture EP, which is like, today is the 4th week since it's been out, so you can see there's something new in the market that people are jumping up to, so they don't really miss anything. The only thing they would have missed was from January till August, I had not dropped any music. Then now I brought, you know, a body of work, which is the Torture EP that's doing crazy and amazing. So I just want to say thanks to everybody who's been supporting, and go out there, go check it out if you haven't heard. He has heard what it is, and you know, right here in South, I'm grateful to be on the platform. Of course, from 2012, where I dropped my first album, you know, even the journey before to dropping the album could never be easy. Any artist can attest to the fact that coming from that era where there's no, where of course social media was not giving, it had not gotten to the point where it gives so much opportunity, you know, for people to be heard easily. You would have to come hard, you have to be struggling, you have to push, you know, like there's struggle at every level, of course, but then I believe that with the help of technology right now and with the help of social media, like it's giving a lot of avenues and makes it more somewhat easier, you know, to be able to push your music. So from them, the struggle has been real, you know, but we've gone through that phase, and I'm glad that I belong to the school that knows about that school and knows about this school as well. I mean, where we understand from the CD and probably even the tape, you know, and then coming over and crossing over to the DSP side where it's all about streaming. And even now, they're trying to bring back the vinyls and bring back the CDs, and you know, so it's a good time to live within this generation, doing great music, combining Afrobeats, dancehall, and reggae together, which these are some of the most loved genres, you know, across the world. And I have the gift to be able to put it all together and represent myself as Afro-Dancehall, you know, is giving me a lot of room to operate in, you know. So yeah, man, that's what I can share a little bit about the journey from start till now.
Oh,
you know?
Man, look out for the Torture EP.
Yeah.
Why not an album?
I mean, because I've been dropping an album. I dropped an album in 2024, album in 2023. Then in 25, I said, all right, let me drop an EP instead, because I feel like I don't want to overload the masses, you know, because you have to also check the timings and, you know, get it proper with the people. And I feel like for the last two albums that I dropped, the complement would be an EP instead of another album. Okay. So I had to make sure I get a few stuff to complement and probably even supplement, you know, the stuff that they have. You feel what I'm saying?
Well,
so that was.
Well, I could testify to it that the Torture EP is definitely a classic. The main song, oh my gosh,
Torture,
I've been singing it all the way to the studio here. Now, tell me, after this EP, there's something you told me off air that you're working on in December.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. In December, as usual, this year marks my 10th year. I've been doing a festival called the Beam Fest, you know, and it's 10 years old, and this year is going to be the 10th year. It's a festival that bridges the gap and gives an opportunity for, you know, musical styles of mine to come together, bringing some great dancehall and reggae artists from Jamaica, you know, to Ghana, and giving that platform where we can continue to thrive on music of black origin. You know, like the stage is open anyway. One of the last times I brought Costa Stitch to Ghana. That's the very last time I saw my brother, man. You know what I mean, for my festival as well. And you know, yeah, I mean, it hit me since I mentioned his name, because he's my guy. Anytime I'm in South, the last time we'd been in the studio, so pardon me a little bit, you know, when I mentioned him. Yeah, so on the 26th of December, we have the 10th anniversary of that festival that's going on again at the Accra Sports Stadium. Look at that. That's talking about football and all of that. So, I mean, in 2023, we held it at the stadium. The Accra Sports Stadium is the biggest sports stadium in Ghana. I can attest to that. And then 2025, we're going back there to the stadium to, you know, host that, you know, impeccable, you know, show again. You know, it's a platform that brings music of black origin together from all walks. So we're looking into flying a few of my South people as well to come and blaze the stage, you know, be it like DJs or whatever. But shout out to Maporisa, you know, who's like my guy. We have a song and big it together. So we're looking at making sure that we, you know, yeah, man, we hold that one again. So anybody coming to Ghana, or you're thinking about coming to Ghana, visiting Ghana as I'm sitting over here, make sure you don't miss out.
So free tickets for me and my film crew?
Absolutely. Of course, absolutely. We have to make provisions for some VVIPs like yourself.
You know, yes. You heard it.
It's
here.
always like that. There's always complimentary.
Stonebwoy has promised. Now,
there's always complimentary.
We've just heard from the African diamond himself.
Yes,
and we're about to get into the diamonds that have been impressing us on match day 9 of the FIFA World Cup Qualifiers. So these are 3 players I have that I like the most. I will just see whether he agrees with this list. Coming in at number 3 this week is Sulemana of Ghana. The Atalanta forward scored his debut goal in the Black Stars' 5-star performance against Central Republic. The explosive 23-year-old came off the bench in the 76th minute and struck in the 87th, capping off the team's dominant display. Coming in at number 2 is Justice Figueiredo. At number 2 this week is Justice Figueiredo. He scored 2 goals for Eswatini in a 2-2 draw against Angola. Both goals came within a 6-minute span in the second half. The draw eliminated Angola from World Cup qualification contention. At number 1 this week is Mohamed Salah. The Anfield legend and the Pharaoh's linchpin became the all-time top scorer in the African World Cup qualifiers, surpassing the likes of Didier Drogba and Samuel Eto'o. Salah has scored 19 goals in his FIFA World Cup qualifier career, and the most recent 2 goals were scored in Egypt's 3-0 victory over Djibouti, which secured Egypt's place in the 2026 World Cup. Stonebwoy, have I left anybody out of that group? Is there any player you...
I think you haven't so far, because you have your top and you mentioned them. These are all from a legend to, you know, yes, Sule, who's like coming up nicely as well. So I think you touched base on both new and legend, which is a good span that you have made. So we're looking forward to see African football continue to rise and rise and rise, you know, to the levels that, you know, we see some of the, you know, international clubs. That's my prayer. Yeah.
Oh man,
yeah.
Stonebwoy,
yeah,
what a blessing to have you
nice
with
to have
us
you too,
today.
brother.
Make sure you look out for the Torture EP.
Yeah,
it's
go check
out
it out
right
now.
now.
This is the 4th week and it's 1 month anniversary right now. So lock in and check it out, you know. Yeah, man.
Listen out for that Torture
Yeah.
track from Stonebwoy. So that's all I have for you today. Canada, Mexico, USA are preparing for the biggest tournament in sports history, really. And I don't care what anybody tells me, I don't care what anybody tells you, the best football is played on African soil.
Absolutely.
Till next time, goodbye.